Good morning here. Welcome to Trading Within the Box here on March 23rd, 2024 here on a Saturday morning, going over some new stocks we're going to go over here today. We had a new stock listing at the end of January that we wanted to go over too here. So we're going to go over those stocks also again as requested. So first of all, this is not a recommendation to buy, hold, or sell any stocks, Forex, futures, equities, or any options. This is a educational video only. If you'd like to purchase stocks, please contact a licensed professional and they will help you there, or the brokerage house of your choice, and they can help you execute your trades with them. Okay, so let's go over right now on the S&P 500, first of all, where we are, and we're heading back. We're moving back to support, and that's what's happening right now. As we knew on Thursday when we went over this, look at the increasing selling volume a little bit just to come back to this area here. So that's what's been coming. It's been hitting resistance, coming back. You see how then it hit resistance here and it came back, hit resistance and it came back to support. Now let's see if it comes back to support, then holds. Now in this area right here, okay, and right here, okay, look how in these areas, look how there's more sellers than buyers right now up here, okay? When you were coming up into these areas right here, okay, right in this spot, there were less sellers, there were more buyers. See right there, okay, right there, okay, right there, okay? So in those areas, you had that's what was going on, okay? So let's continuously keep an eye on as that's happening with the S&P 500 and the others. Let's look at really fast. Let's look at the bank basket, which is the XLF, and that's the ETF for the banks, all the banks. And again here, so this is what happened here again. So look, we go right into resistance. It's almost like clockwork here, okay? See how it went into resistance and pulled back? Okay, but the only difference between the banks, which leads the markets a lot of times, is we have more buyers than sellers, okay? The banks have been very, very strong in this market, okay? Not saying fundamentally that they're strong, saying that in this market they've been strong, okay? So that's why, continuously watching the banks in this market, because that's what's been happening. As we look at the IWM, we pull back. We were talking about how the speculators were buying for 3 days, and that's a little bit of the 3-day rule, which is not always perfect. But you see how like you come up and you'll get 3 day 1, 2, 3, and then 4, boom, and it'll pull back 1, 2, 3, okay, and then 4th pull back. That's not always true, but that's a good rule. You see 1, 2 right here, 1, 2, 3, and then a pull back, okay? 1, 2, 3, and then boom, we started buying again. So that's a good rule to have. It's not exact all the time, but that's what's happening here, and that's what we're getting. We do have more buyers right now than sellers right now, okay? And let's see if on the IWM, which is the speculator market, the small caps, if we get this and then we get this, and we get a higher right side of W, and we get up to the 209.83. So that's what we're going to be watching. We're following the money, so this is not a prediction. These are not predictions. Like, a lot of people say to me, oh, well, you're predicting what's happening, this, that, and the other. But really and truly, that's not what we're doing here. We're just following money. We're following what they're doing. Are they going to buy off support? Are they selling off support? Are we going to be under the moving average where the big institutions aren't supporting? Is that what we're going to do? So that's what we need to know. Where are we? Are we in a supported market? So look at American Express here, okay? Moved over to American Express. Look how the institutions are supporting American Express above the 20-day moving average. Okay, when you're above the 20-day moving average, they're supporting the stock. They're buying. When you're below, they're selling, okay? So you're in a downtrend at that point, okay? So now look at American Express, because we wanted to go over this. We had. Sorry about that. Let me get rid of that. Look how we're coming back to support now, okay? We came up with the doji on Thursday, and now we're pulling back, okay? We do have more, right now, we have more buyers than sellers. So let's see if the trend continues. We pull back to support. We might hold even here, right here at the 226.15, and then, or we pull back, and then we're going to pull back up there. It really doesn't matter what the stock name is. It matters what the formation and the patterns are, and the volume analysis, okay? So Look at now. Here's a prime example of with Boeing how the institutional money is not supporting. They were back here, but they're not here. Okay, so you're down below moving average. You're down below. You're down below, and there it comes right up. Now this is resistance. It's reversed. If you took this and you flipped it over, you'd see that this is a complete reverse situation of when they're supporting stocks. Boeing, they're not supporting right now. Okay. Although we do have a little more covering on the volume here, right there, than we did the last time, okay, when it came up, which was right here, okay, when it bounced into the ceiling, okay. Let's look at the peaks. We got one peak, okay, and we only have two peaks here. So we can continuously still go down here. Let's see what happens. How you'll know, again, always, as I repeat myself 3,000 times a day, is we'll go to the small time frames. Now, on the small time frame, on the 2-hour chart, we had covering, okay? But let's see. Now, watch this. We had just flipped. Let's flip over back to daily, okay, for a second. Now, see how we're in resistance right there and we get the doji? Look at that. You see that right there? Okay, let's go to the 2-hour chart here. There's a lesson on how this could fail, okay? We're at the ceiling, right? Now, when you look at the small time frames, what does it tell you? Okay, what does that tell you? It tells you that the volume right now is more sellers here. Look how you slam into that area. Remember, you got that 200-day moving average pushing down, right? What's happening? They're selling. Now, this is covering, okay, right here. Then they're selling into the covering. They're selling into it. So you want to see this pop, this maybe pull back up, pull here, get the M formation, and boom, start heading down for the next short. Okay, so that's how you play that on Boeing. Okay, and there's the indecision candlestick with the doji right there. Okay, right in that spot. Okay, let's go to Cisco Systems. Go to Cisco Systems here, and we're on a daily chart, and we crossed over. But where are we? Okay, a lot of times these stochastics cross over. As soon as they cross over, they sell right into it. It's like an algorithm, okay? They cross over, boom, they sell right into it, okay? So we get up and above this candlestick with the exchange of money. We went over that in the last video. Look at the exchange of money where the distribution is, okay? And then you get the reversal. Now, I'm not saying that this could, let's say this pulls back a little bit and we get a W formation, okay? So on Cisco Systems, let's go to the weekly chart and see where we are. Now, on the weekly chart, we have overhead pressure here at $50. Okay, we're at $49.78. So right now, we're heading up, but let's see if we can get up and above. Let's go through the volume analysis. Now, we're going into this big candlestick here. Okay, let's see right here, right in this area, going into that huge candlestick with that massive volume. You're creeping up into the spot. Now you have, look at the pressure right here on a weekly chart. That's major resistance right there on Cisco, okay? It's major resistance, so you got to be very careful. That's why it's fighting up into this area. You go to a 2-hour chart, and right now you have some profit taking in this spot, but you're holding. Okay, so on the 2-hour chart, you just want to follow it. Remember we were talking about that W before, right? You want to see if you're going to get that kind of thing. Let this pull all the way back down to the bottom. Let it hold. Then you get an engulfing like this or something like this right in this spot right here. Okay, right there. And then you want to see if you get the follow through. Okay, that's how you're going to know, and that's how you're going to follow it up. And if you're still going to go up. Okay. IBM. Look at IBM. Now with IBM, pull into the bottom, pull into the support level here. Now on IBM, let me just show you something here. We have a little bit of a squeeze play here. Okay, we have a pennant formation. Okay, right there. Okay, now we want to know: are we going to? So look at this, more sellers than buyers here. Okay, we want to know: are we going to break it down, or going to break it up? A lot of times, a weekly chart at the end of the week on the Saturday or Sunday, or whatever you want to do, you go back and you look. Now, remember, you got earnings the week of April 22nd on IBM if this is your stock. Okay. You had a sideways consolidation, and then you bust it up, okay? Now, and coming back into this spot. Where is the support area? It's right where this volume, this monster volume is, right there, okay? So you do have support right in that spot. So let's see if we come right back to it, and then we go for a retest here. Now you got more sellers right here interested in selling in this spot right there, okay? So that's something on the 2-hour chart. You want to see, are they supporting it? And right now, no. Okay, so small time frames. That's how you break it down. Are they supporting it there? On the 30-minute chart, okay, are they supporting it there? No. Okay, so you're gonna let it pull back, okay, before you get back into that stock. Okay, so let's go over to Intel, INTC is the symbol for Intel. Okay. Let's go over to Intel, and on Intel, look what's happening. Let's go over the weekly chart because we want to know where we are, okay? Now look at the weekly chart with the pennant formation, okay? Now the pennant formation is really good because you get that little squeeze play right there. See it? Okay, look at the pennant formation. You're getting the squeeze play. You got more sellers every week by week by week than you do buyers here. So that gives you a good indication of what you possibly could be going into. That's not enough information for me. I want to see a 40,000-foot view here on a monthly chart. And what is the monthly chart telling you? That the sentiment is to where? The downside, right? Okay. And you got support right there on a monthly. Okay. Now these candlesticks are a month at a time. Okay. So this is March, this is February, January, and that's December. Okay. So you had a breakout failure in December. Okay, the month of December. You had a breakout above the resistance area, and then a failure. They usually pound those to the downside, okay? Now, we'll be watching that on the 2-hour chart, okay? And right now, you got a little bit of a sideways situation here, okay? More sellers than buyers, okay? You're breaking it down. You want to see first, you want to write it down on paper. Where's the sentiment? Is it to the downside or is it to the upside? Now, you could get a retest W here coming. Now, watch the line chart, okay? Watch the line chart right here, okay? You want to see if you're going to get one of these things, okay? And then maybe, you'll be trading within the box right there, okay? That's something that you're going to want to look at and continuously time it. Now, as we keep moving along, we can move along to J&J, which is Johnson & Johnson, and look at Johnson & Johnson. Now, on Johnson & Johnson, look at this. Okay, you come down past the support area, okay? Now, you could get a bounce. You could get a little bit of a bounce and then tag the 156.73 and then come back, and then if it breaks this little area right here, right now where it's at the 155.23, boom, you'll be heading right down to this area, okay, which will be in the let's say 53 range, okay? So that's now this is not being supported right now by the institutional money, okay? It's not being supported. Look at the weekly chart. Now in the weekly chart you have a big velocity candlestick here, and you're at support, okay? So look where you are. Always know that the most support is on the weekly chart, okay? Right there. Boom. You got it right there. Okay, so you can get a doji after this on a weekly basis, right? Let's watch this. If you go and you draw a little bit, you can get this right here. And then this kind of thing or whatever. And then you can get a little bit of a pop. Okay, that could happen, okay? Let's go over to, on J&J, let's go over to the 2-hour chart, and not supported, okay? On the small time frame, not even supported. I have more sellers than buyers right now, okay? So look at this. This was an incredible short, okay, as it kept coming down. And as it kept coming down, you could see where the big dogs are shorting right there, right there, right there. Of course, you're going to get a bounce. When you get the velocity candlestick, you're going to get the bounce, okay? And then you come back, you hit resistance, boom, they drop you, okay? And come to support, you got to be careful because profit taking. Look, you can see it right there where they took their profit, boom, comes up, fakes you out, boom, failure. And now more sellers still than buyers, okay? So that's how we look at it. That's how we try to break it down. So we talk to ourselves and we break it down that way. Otherwise, we're not going to know. Okay. Now, here's a situation where you got to be very careful. Look at 3M. Okay. Now, 3M, which is MMM, is the symbol. Look at this. Now, as you're going up, you're way far away from the moving average. Okay. Look how far away you are from the 9-day and the 20-day moving average. So you got to come back to one of these magnets because you haven't came back to it in a while. And it's always going to come. It's always going to come back. Now, look at this volume stick right there. Okay. Look at that monster there. That means that's distribution right there. That means there's an exchange of money. They can't hide volume. Okay. So that's how you know. It may not happen the next day or 3 days, but you will see it follow right after that. You'll see that happen. You see how you keep coming back to that spot. You haven't came back to that spot in a while, okay? So this is a massive short covering, from this area right here, okay? So let's say you come back and and a lot of times what will happen is it'll come back to the magnet, which is right there, right in that spot, right there, okay? Which is probably let's see what spot that is, around 103.50, okay? Right now you're at 106.78, okay? So also on a weekly chart, now look where you are. You're up in a supply area. So you want to get a pullback. You have an uptrend here, but you have a velocity candlestick. You're up in resistance. And remember, you got earnings on the week of April 22nd too. So you want it to pull back so you can get that discount, okay? You want that to pull back. Nike, let's go over first on Nike. Let's go over the weekly chart on Nike. And on Nike, this is what you have going on here. Now you got a little bit of you come into support. So right down here in this 89.45 or 87.72, you have major support as you're coming. Now, look at the selling volume as we had the week of December 18th. Bam! Slammed it right down. Let's go over to daily. Okay. Now, they drop you down with a doji. What do you have here? How many times do we have to go over this? Okay. Watch this. What do you got here? Boom. You got distribution of money right here. Okay. And you got a doji. So something's going to happen there. It's either distribution for selling or buying. Okay. So you can get the distribution of money with the gap down and then just keep heading down. Okay. So on a daily chart, they're really not supporting this. Okay. Right here. Okay. And in the pre-market on March 20, on the aftermarket on March 21st, they really took this baby right downtown, okay? And they're not being supported right now in the 2-hour chart, the institutional money, okay? Let's go over to silver because we don't really cover that in the stocks that we're following every day. I'm trying to give you a little bit of a different look here today. Look at silver. Now, silver's right on a weekly chart. You're right in the supply area. Okay, so looking for a pullback on silver here. Okay, remember what we're talking about with gold. Okay, remember with gold what we were talking about too. Okay, so and then we'll go over that too. Let's see how much more time we have. Okay, so about 10 minutes left here, so we can go over some of our other stocks too. We're pulling back on silver right now. So right now, look at the sellers right now pulling back to support. Where's the support area? Right here. Right there. Right in that spot at 22.17. So let's see if this pulls all the way down. And then let's see if we hold. Let's see if we get this and we start getting the downtrend on silver. Okay. Let's see. Because a lot of times in May, we get that sometimes. Okay. I'm not saying that's always happening. Okay. On 2-hour chart, silver, we're not being supported right now. Okay. We're not being supported for a buy. Okay. FCX, which is copper, not being supported on the 2-hour chart. Let's go to weekly and look where we are. Now, look where we are on copper. Look how far away on a weekly chart. Now, this is where you got to be real careful. Look how far away we are. Okay. Look at this. Up in this, we get up and above, and we get a doji right here. So let's see if they follow through buying to 48.59 or if this pulls back, which that's what we want to do. And that could be weeks away because we're on a weekly chart here. Let's go over to daily. On the daily, each one of these candlesticks is 1 day, okay? You get up and above, and now we're going to pull back to 43.97, okay? We're going to pull back to 43.97. Let's see if we start going sideways a little bit here. We could go sideways a little bit on silver, okay? Now, as we flip over to the gold market, GLD is the symbol for gold, or the gold trust, the ETF, okay? So let's go over to gold now. Now, with gold, look how we came up, okay? Now we got more sellers, okay, coming in here. We didn't have that in this area here for all these days and stuff and weeks, okay? We didn't have it here either, okay? So now we're getting a little bit more sellers involved here. So we get up and above, and then we break down. Now we're at support on gold here, okay? Let's see if they're going to make another run here, okay? Let's see, or if we're going to start breaking down to the 20-day moving average. Or is this what's going to happen? It starts getting tired and exhausted because it had an incredible run. Do we get the sideways consolidation? And then we'll see if we break up or if we're going to break down, okay? Let's see what happens, okay? I'm there. Now we're moving over to Verizon on a weekly chart. Okay, now Verizon, look at Verizon here, okay? Now Verizon, you come to the support area, okay? And you're going to come up, okay? So you come here, right in this spot right there. Okay, you're getting close to that spot, and you get an engulfing on a weekly. Now, your weekly stochastic is still below down here. We start getting that where we start crossing up, okay? And then it can make another run to this top area, okay? Let's see now on a daily chart, because that's what you want to follow. Now, on a daily chart, we had this sideways consolidation here, okay? This is, look at this. This is like trading within the box here, okay? Right there, okay? Now, we want to see. Now, when you get these long consolidations, first you'll see, look at the signal. Here they are. Something is happening. Are there's the distribution, the massive distribution of money buying at this spot, or are they selling at this spot? It looks like they could be buying here, okay? So you got more buyers than sellers. You got distribution, accumulation, or whatever you want to call it right there. Okay, so go to a 2-hour. Just go over to the 2-hour chart, okay? And let's get rid of this. And look at the 2-hour chart now. So they were supporting it. Look how they were supporting it, okay? Right there was the buy, and they were supporting it, holding right above the moving average. So let's see if this starts to head up and we start pulling up and we go to 4107. Let's see, we're going to be watching that one, okay? Verizon is something I want to put on the list, okay, of stocks to watch. See if we make another run on that weekly chart. Walmart, look at Walmart. You look at the, now watch this. Watch this for a second on Walmart. Okay, trading within the box, right? Right here. Okay, we got a sideways consolidation up here. So it could be bouncing around up here for a little while, okay? And then that could be distribution right there, okay? And then something could happen, okay, possibly, okay? So we're not sure. We don't know. We're just following it. Right now, we got sideways consolidation. Disney. Let's go over to Disney really quick. And we're getting close to the end here. So on Disney, we come up right into the resistance area, right? Okay. Now on Disney, this is not a surprise, remember? How when this thing got creamed, and then we were looking at it down in November, around November, and it came up, and then it came up at the end of November, then it pulled back, then it started buying it. They started buying it again right here on January 16th, okay? And then we had, excuse me about that, then we had right here on February 7th, we had the gap. February 8th, we had the February 8th, we had the gap up, and now there's institutional money still in there, okay? The institutional money is still in there. But so now as you're managing it, you want to see, where am I right now, okay? Now be careful here, because look where you are. Now on a weekly chart, sold off in this spot, and where are you right now, okay? So that's where you got to be careful, okay? because you're in the supply area. You're in a major supply area right now. Okay, let's see what happens. They pop their head up above if this thing is still going to run. Okay, now look at the massive W formation right here with the engulfing, and then boom, the velocity candlestick with the massive volume coming in. Okay, so that, let's look at the 2-hour chart. Because if you're saying to yourself, oh man, I am in resistance, I'm up in the supply area, but we could still run. Okay, we could still run. Okay, on Disney. Now, we look like we're breaking down a little bit below the 20-day moving average right here on Disney on a 2-hour chart. So let's see if we're going to get this pullback right over to this 114.24. Let's see what's going to happen. Right now, we don't have a ton of sellers up here. So this could just be a pullback, okay? Just a pullback. Okay, let's go over to, we have a few more minutes. Let's just look at NVIDIA really quick, because NVIDIA, the whole world was saying that it was going to go up Friday, and it did. Okay, but we're slamming into resistance, and we're slamming into this high volume high right here, okay, at resistance. So let's see what they're going to do in this spot. Are they going to test that top and then come back, or are they going to test it and blow past it? And let's see if they're going to do it. They can do it with lighter volume, and I've seen it done many times. Now watch the line chart here. Look at the right side of the W here. We got, okay, right here, and then boom. Okay, we're coming off support right here. Okay, let's see what happens there. Okay, on that. Microsoft. Let's just look at Microsoft really quick, and a few more minutes, and then we're going to finish here. And Microsoft got 2 dojis up here. And it looks like we're going to pull back to the support at 423.90 at least. Okay, that's what's looking here. Let's look at the 2-hour chart. And the 2-hour chart right now is holding strong, okay? So the institutional money was supporting it, okay? And then right here, let's see if we get the W. Now, on the 2-hour chart, look at the W forming here, okay? Look at the W forming here, right in this spot. See if it holds, and then we got the engulfing Monday. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, we're going to see if that's going to test that spot, or if we're going to pull back to this spot right here, 427.32. So it could do either one. It could pull back, and then boom, we'll head up. Now on the weekly chart, look at Microsoft heading to that 433.78. Okay, watch the W formation on the. Look at that beautiful W formation. Right there, retest W, that's as clean as it gets, okay, with really good volume. I mean, this is unbelievable, right? This is unbelievable on Microsoft, how we've been following this thing. Let's go over to candlesticks. Let's go over to Apple. Now on Apple, that's a weekly chart, and look at the sellers, okay? We're going to end it off with Apple here. Look at Apple at support. Massive sellers. You're down on the bottom on a weekly chart, okay? As the weekly chart, let me show you something really quick on the stochastic. As we get closer, look at this right here in this spot down here. We get closer and we start squeezing, something's going to happen, okay? Something's going to happen there, okay? So that's an indication of some kind of a change coming, possible, maybe even, a bounce. Okay, now look at Apple, okay? Remember when we came up and we had the breakout failure, okay? And I said on Thursday, sorry, I got the allergies hitting hard. I said Thursday, okay? What did I say? We hit support right there, okay? We had the velocity candles, but we were at support. We get the doji. Let's see if we get follow through here up, or if we're going to, boom, we're going to break down. So right now, the sentiment with the daily chart stochastic is down. But let's see if this could turn, though. I've seen this turn thousands and thousands of times. So it doesn't mean. Let's go over the 2-hour chart. Let's see what's going on. Now, in the 2-hour chart, they're not supporting right now, okay? They're not supporting. So let's see. Right now, we have a little more sellers than buyers here. And let's see if we're going to get this. And then, boom, we're going to start heading down, okay? Let's just see what they're going to do. I want to thank everybody for the comment. Thank everybody for watching Trading Within the Box. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy trading next week.